Minnesota Fighting Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer fed the media jackals on Wednesday, which you shouldn't do. Like, don't feed the media jackals because then they'll always keep coming back. They're like stray cats. But anyways, he talked to the media about a bunch of topics from Darrisaw to Anthony Barr to the Panthers coming up to his style of draft. And with Darrisaw, he talked right away and he was asked about how Darrisaw was in his debut, especially in the run game. And Zimmer was very excited about how Darrisaw looked. He's got great size. He's got great strength. He's got great agility for a dude that size, and it was really good him getting some reps. And also, I think it was Sam Ekstrom asked him about is it good to get some game tape now as opposed to just practice? And then Zimmer maybe let the cat out of the bag a little bit because he said, yeah, we'll get some more this week. It's like, oh, well, at least Darrisaw's going to be playing. Thank you. He should be starting, but of course it's probably going to be the rotation, which, like we outlined earlier, does no good to either one because then they split first team reps in practice. There's only so many go around, and then they split reps in the game. It's no good. Pick either one, but pick Darrisaw. Well, other than that, I have no feelings on the issue. Then Graf, the Athletic, go. Mike Zimmer on his defense. I like where we're going because, yeah, respect. Since halftime of the Seattle game, this has been a completely different defense. When you hold the Browns to 14, you should be able to win, especially the Browns went on the road and put 42 on the Chargers. And you had 500 yards and 0 turnovers, and you lost, right? And then he held the Lions in check all damn day. Their only trip to the red zone was after the Madison fumble late in the game. So, yes, you can win with this defense. Now, if we can only get the offense that was from the first 3 weeks, then we could be in business with a little something. Chris Thomason, Pioneer Press, go. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer on Carolina drafting all defensive players. Not earlier this year, back in 2020, they drafted all defensive players under Matt Rule, which is kind of weird because you had Joe Brady, the Wunder Kid, or the Wonder Kid, as your offensive coordinator, and you wanted to do some favors for Teddy, but then you drafted only defensive players, blah, 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 on his preferred type of draft. My ideal draft is all good players. Cap. Massive cap right there. Not that he doesn't want to draft good players, but if Zimmer had the opportunity to only draft defensive players, he would cream in his jeans. Like, he would be all up on it. It's like, Pretty Ricky finally got himself a good draft. Or something like that. Next, Thomason on Anthony Barr. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer on if linebacker Anthony Barr looked rusty or not on film in his first game back Sunday. He looked pretty much like himself, which I'm sure is meant to be a compliment to his team captain and Anthony Barr and his first draft pick back in 2014, number 9 overall, ahead of Aaron Donald, by the way. But that could be seen as a backhanded compliment because he pretty much looked like himself, where Anthony Barr, he didn't look great in his debut, and he even said himself, like, he thought that his heart was going to burst out of his chest, and there was some rust out there. So maybe Zimmer's just saying, he looked like himself. He looked bad. Or not. Whatever. Next up, Chris Thompson. Go. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer on right guard Oli Udoh. He's done a lot. He's done good in a lot of things. There's hiccups he has once in a while. Said one of those things is getting his arms out too wide. With arms too wide open. And with Oli Udoh, it definitely was it is a transition going from tackle to guard, playing inside. The game is faster. And Udoh, his length may actually be a detriment. Because then, like you said, playing out too wide, you don't have enough length, you don't have enough leverage, and you can get out leverage at the point of attack. So, I mean, it is a learning process. Oli played great. He was one of the best guards in the league the first 3 weeks. The last 2 weeks, not so much. He got absolutely hammered against the Browns. He recovered a little bit against the Lions, but I think that it is a process. I think by the end of the season, we're going to be like, hey, Oli Udoh is performing at an extremely high level. He's one of the top 20 guards in the league, and then we can go from there. Because there's things that Oli has that you just cannot coach. That strength, that anchor, that chip. I love it. Next up, Graf, the Athletic, go. Zimmer said he had the offensive coaches do a self-scout this week to try to figure out some of the issues there, studying their own tendencies. Run, pass, run, pass, run, pass, blah, blah, blah. He wants them to come up with a more definitive second half game plan with specific plays to run. Well, all right, so here are the plays. Student body left, student body right, student body up the middle. That's going to be it. Where it blows my mind. So obviously Zimmer has a little bit of oversight on the offense where Dollars to Donuts, Clint Kubiak would not I feel like he would not choose to run on his own volition on second and forever. He would not choose to have a screen pass on third and forever. He would not choose to stop targeting and stop throwing it to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. The fact that Thielen only had one target, well, he had another one, but it was negated by a penalty. But no. So self-scouting, please. And we've seen this before, where there have been times when the offensive coordinator has stepped out of Zimmer's desires for the offense. Norv did it. John DeFilippo certainly did it. And then Zim will get kind of testy, and he'll be all passive-aggressive in press conferences talking about, we should probably run the ball more. So the fact that he certainly has sway over Clint Kubiak, a young kid who came up in his system, even though Gary was here the last couple of years, and also the guy that first time as a play caller, he owes that job to Zim. So, of course, Zim is going to have a little bit of sway over the kid. Hey, free bird, kid. Free bird, man. I mean, Zimmer was a Greg Joseph field goal away from being fired. So, do your own thing. Put up some points. Is a defensive-minded head coach actually going to be mad that you're scoring points? How backwards would that be? But he might be. You never know. Then lastly, Chris Thomason on the upcoming opponent. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer on Sam Darnold with the Panthers as opposed to the Jets. I think he looks more comfortable in what he was doing. He was pretty young then. Darnold had some moments with the Jets where you're like, okay, that sort of makes sense why he was the number 3 overall pick, but it was a mess with the Jets. It's been a mess with Carolina and that offensive line. They still have massive issues, even though they paid Taylor Moton all that money. Oh, hey, Pat Elflein, what up? What up? So I think the Vikings pass rush can certainly get after Darnold. He's up there amongst the league leaders in interceptions, even though he has 5 rushing touchdowns, by the way, which I think speaks more to the caliber of receiver in Carolina as opposed to, Sam Darnold, he's just a running quarterback. No, he's just taking off. But McCaffrey may be back. We'll see. Even if he is back, I think that he could be hindered by that hamstring injury, but who knows? I mean, we got a more upbeat Zim. He's always a little bit happier, a little less snarky, a little less grizzled after a win, even if it was a win that should not have been that close at all. But your thoughts and our thoughts. Take a look at Zimmer's Wednesday presser. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.